Physical games are slowly disappearing, and Sony seems to be leading the way. From digital-only consoles to games that barely even have discs anymore, it feels like buying a real game is becoming a thing of the past. So is Sony actually ending physical games, and what does that even mean for us? Okay, let's get into it. So, little brief history. Back in the PS2 and PS3 days, almost everyone bought games at disc, right? You go to GameStop, Walmart, Target, whatever, right? And you can lend it to a friend, sell it, collect it, right? Or just put it in yourself because it looked cool, right? Now things are way different. More people buy games digitally because it's faster. You don't have to leave the house, and you can preload games before they launch, right? And that's good until you realize that you actually own the game the same way you own a disc. You're really buying a license to play it. If something gets removed from the store or your account has issues, things can get complicated. And that's where Sony's recent decision that people worried, right? Because the biggest example is the PS5 digital edition. It doesn't have any disc drive, no physical games. And if you want a game, you're buying it from Sony's PlayStation Store. And that means Sony controls the price, sales, and where you get your games. Then came the PS5 Pro. So it didn't even include a disc drive in the box. If you want one, you have to buy it separately. And it's pretty obvious that physical games aren't the priority anymore, right? I mean, even some games that are sold in stores don't actually have the full game on the disc. Sometimes it's just a download key. And that's really what's going to happen with GTA 6. Now, from Sony's point of view, this makes perfect sense, right? Digital games make them a lot more money. There's no manufacturing cost, no shipping, and no stores taking a cut. And every purchase goes straight through PlayStation. It's also easier to push things like a deluxe edition, battle pass, whatever, in-game purchases. So from a business perspective, it's actually very understandable, right? It makes no sense, but for players, it's bad. It is bad because what happens if PlayStation Store shuts down? Or what happens to those games if your account gets hacked or banned or something? It could be like a false ban. Do you lose access to these games? I mean, that's like hundreds of dollars down the drain. Anyways, collectors also lose something special. Owning a shelf full of games feels way better than scrolling through a digital library. At least that's in my opinion. So are physical games completely dead? I would say no, not entirely, but I mean, it probably marks the end for GameStop and whatnot. And it's pretty obvious that we're headed in this direction. I'd say Sony's like a pioneer of this, similar to Apple. If they remove a feature, everyone else is going to follow suit. So if physical games are where they're headed, it's not going to be long for Xbox and others just copy them. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You guys still buy physical games, or did you switch to digital? And if Sony stopped making disc versions, would you even care?